see you. I'm playing things in the car that I'm still writing, and still, for the most magical thing, I'm still getting a buzz from it, and that's the key, you know. I think in early years, you don't know how to edit yourself, so you just get off on the idea of doing it, and in later years, you get off on challenging yourself and going, well, I do know a bit about this. I wonder if I can write something better, or I've never done this before.
A million stars burn overhead, but one flame lights my life, yeah. Who'd have thought I'd find the best with you? I am blessed.
The interesting thing about this, I can't say it was written about my mother, but it was written when she was around my studio. And so every time I was playing it, she'd walk through the door and go, "Don't play that song, I'm gonna cry. I don't want to hear it anymore, it's gonna bring tears." And I knew that she liked that song a great deal. One of the biggest things, I think, is you have enough time to stand back and listen to the roughs of it and go, "Ooh, it makes me tingle." And I haven't really done anything to it, and my voice is making me tingle. And I think with Blessed, I was able to sit back for a while and listen to the roughs of it, and it was a very, as you say, a very simple song. A little ode, a kind of little folk song with a nylon guitar. And the more you let something breathe, if you have that chance, and not everybody has that chance to listen to a piece over a period of time, I realized that what was already there was speaking very loud. And in all my years of writing and with different artists and different producers, I was always knocked out with the producer or the artist who was sort of saying, "We're finished here." It's speaking very, very loud, and its subtlety is its strength, and its rawness is its simplicity. And being a bit of a studio boy, I love to produce, and you always think it's a rough, and then you go, well, why are people being moved by this? And then you have the strength and maybe the courage to say, let's leave that alone. See, I like colours to change. I do see songs as paintings, and that I like to think that you can listen to a song many times and not get, and every time you listen to it, it doesn't wear you out. And I think that's pretty amazing if you can get that.
All my colors uncover me. Come my restoration, wash my body clean. I've been walking along a crooked path where the walls have fallen, broken me in half. I'm coming to, I will not rest till I lay down my head. I'm gonna go.
The idea of ancient feels, and in a lot of ways, folk music in general, I love, because I think some of the older medieval and early folk songs have such an atmosphere about them and a landscape. So I love textures. I loved the early band Genesis, you know, with Tony Banks, and a lot of their orchestral and a lot of their kind of Old English landscape that came around their music had a lot of mythology about it, and I've always loved that. You know, I grew up again out of the Beatles, and the funk music came what they call progressive music. So there was Yes and Genesis were very much like, you know, by their album covers you could see nursery crime and foxtrot. It had a, yeah, I love the early Genesis. I was very moved by their thematic sense of mythology and early English mythology, you know, the sense of that kind of Lion, Witch and the Wardrobe kind of feel, and the god Pan, and there was this kind of countryside in their music, and I loved that, and I try to bring that into some of the pop songs you write. I try to bring that kind of when you said the word ancient, I'm very proud of that. If somebody gets that, in the House of Stone and Light, I was looking for that. Tell me of that place where I must surely
let go.
And I found that when I worked with Robbie Robertson on his solo album, he'd come from an American heritage, and it was very native and very primal. And it was a really nice mixture, because what he brought to the process was this kind of very traditional, old American Civil War, Native American understanding, red dirt feeling of America. And I was trying to bring in a little bit of that English sense of folk. But I'd come through the technology era of the 80s as well, where drum machines came in, synthesizers. And it was a nice mixture. And I think from working with Robbie through that period of his solo album and Fallen Angel, which we wrote together, it gave me confidence to say, when you make your own solo record, try and think of those landscapes. My favorite songs always have been songs that you think, I've heard this before in my soul. This is, you know, Abraham Martin John by, you know, and when Marvin Gaye did it, and My Sweet Lord by George Harrison. Some of these songs you feel are already written in stone. Sometimes when I'm even doing a pop song, I'll try and put behind the front line a sense of maybe melancholy, even if it's a pop song, a sense of blueness, a sense of the water, a sense of the rain, as well with the sunshine. And I think when you get that sometimes, I personally as a kid, when I grew up and heard records like that on my headphones, I'll be listening to Selling England by the Pound by Genesis, and I was transfixed because of what was behind even behind the voice was Steve Hackett's guitar sounded like it had come out of a forest somewhere, an electric forest, which had mystery about it.